People, what's going on? You guys already know who it is. Your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. I hope you guys had a great weekend. Let me let everybody tune in a little bit. We're talking about pride and ego. How can pride and ego fail you if you don't readjust that feeling, that emotion, that mindset when you're trying to elevate in the world of success? A lot of us, we know it all. We've done it all. We don't need to listen to anybody. Everything is about us, and this is why we're having these issues. Today we're talking about, of course, pride and ego. How can it put you in a position of failure if you don't readjust your mindset? As you guys know, I'm a life coach, entrepreneur, investor, day trader, swing trader, an individual teaching you how to create wealth. One of the things I had to learn is about self-discipline and mental consciousness. A lot of you need to understand how important that is. You need to be aware of who you are and what you say and how you do things. Because again, a lot of you don't realize you're not receptive. You're not receptive to success, even if it was presented in front of you. Because again, we have this mindset. A lot of us have this ego, this pride. We know it all. And the crazy part about it, when you really think about pride, you could only have pride realistically if you have accomplished something. And some of you haven't accomplished anything. So I'm a little confused on how are you letting yourself, of course, include pride without a life of accomplishments. Really think about our life for a moment. We're in this world where the cost of living is high. The stock market is down. The best thing you could be doing in these times is learning and educating yourself and learning from other people. How are they surviving? How come they're not struggling if you are? If you're in a position right now, you're financially struggling, you should be really receptive to what I'm about to talk about today, because again, it's very imperative you listen, because it's so essential to growth, mental growth. We live in this world, a lot of, especially the men, I get it. We got pride. I'm a man. Another man can't tell me anything. I know it all. I've done it all. I already know real estate. I already know stocks. I already know how to manage my money. See, here's what I love about life, people. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. You can fake everything else in life, but one thing I tell people in life, numbers don't lie. A lot of us, we have this mindset that is really going to fail us if we don't readjust it. We call it the paradigm shift. How are you approaching life? You need to readjust how are you approaching life. Women too got pride, got ego. They know it all. You can't talk to them. But here's the truth, right? We got to look at results. If you know it all, you should have it all. If you know it all, you should be humble. Because the person that knows it all, that's humble, can teach another person. I want to talk about 5 things that lets you know that person has a lot of ego and pride. Because in life, you're going to talk to a lot of different people, especially if you're social like myself. And you're going to realize that a lot of people in life, they're not going to financially grow because they're not adjusting their pride and ego to a level that makes sense. We all have a little bit of it. But some of us, we have over access the ego and pride. And you got to really ask yourself a question. Have you met a person that no matter what you tell them, they can't learn? They know it all? No matter what you say to them, I already know. Yeah, I heard that before. I was about to do that. No matter what you say to that person, they already know. See, pride and ego is so dangerous, and what's crazy, it's free. And it's embedded in a lot of us as human beings, and we're living in this world with pride and ego without owning shit in life. It's so funny that in order to have pride, you have to have accomplished something. Some of us haven't accomplished anything, but we have so much pride. This is why we can't learn in life. You know it all, but you haven't done it all. And you have nothing to show. In 2022, you got to really look at your life. What do you have to show for all the years of you living? If the answer to that question is nothing except the car payment, you should be embarrassed. And here it goes again. The reality is your pride and your ego is making you feel you're accomplished. I've learned in life some of the most prideful people, they can't learn. Because the reality is they're so into themselves. Everything is about them. Everything is about them. And they sometimes, they're what I like to call the one-uppers. If you told them, yeah, you flipped one house, they're going to tell you they flipped 10. If you told them you bought this stock, they're going to tell you they got 20 stocks. If you told them about this crypto, they're going to say they've been knew about that before you. But then when you ask them a real question, how successful are you? What do you own in life? That's when the conversation stops. One of the things of life is learning and being receptive is so important. You never stop learning till the day you die. And a lot of people don't understand you can't learn with pride and ego. If a person has been through something or have learned something or have made mistakes in something, that is someone you should learn from, because you don't have to make the same mistake. But sometimes your pride and ego makes you feel, well, I'm a man, I don't need to listen to another man. Or I'm a woman, I already know it all because I've been this independent woman taking care of my family. I don't need to listen to anybody. And you wonder why you're mentally struggling. I don't like to say financially struggling in this particular topic. Mentally struggling. There are so many individuals working check by check, born and raised in the United States of America, have nothing to show because of pride and ego. You refuse to take advice from someone who is doing better than you because your pride and ego won't allow you to be receptive. You can't learn. And until you bring that down a notch, it's very difficult for you to grow in life. There will be times in life where you will have a lot of people who are smarter than you trying to teach you something to better you. They care about you enough that they're going to give you their wisdom, their advice, their experience so you can grow. But the reality is, a lot of you have this mindset, I don't need to listen to anybody. I know it all. I've done it all. And this is why a lot of people in this world fail. In this world, you got to understand, being successful is not just monetary. It's also mental. It's also understanding how to be humble. It's also understanding how to be self-disciplined within yourself. It's okay to learn from other people. It's okay to hear their experiences so you can grow. It's okay in life to say this, people, I don't know. I never heard that before. See, we as human beings, we have this thing. We got to let people fool us. We got to fool ourselves. Oh, my God. Yeah, knowing you don't know about stocks. Oh, yeah, I mean, I know. I've been doing that for years. If you don't know something in life, it's okay to say, I don't know. Don't feel ashamed. Don't let human flesh judge you. Human flesh is funny. Human flesh always think they're perfect for some strange reason. There is nobody in this world that's perfect. Everybody goes through things, no matter where you're at in life. But when you want to grow, you got to learn to be receptive. You got to learn to listen to people who are doing better than you, to people who are trying to give you constructive criticism so you can grow. You got to learn to let your pride and your ego go. Some of you have left a lot of great relationships. A lot of you have lost great partners in life who could have had a long-term beneficial partnership with you. But instead, your pride and your ego just wouldn't let go. People come to my show sometimes, I can't stop laughing. You paid to come to my show and you know it all. So why are you broke? Why are you broke? You paid to come to my show, you know it all. How come you don't own shit then, if you know it all? You've read all these books and you know it all. How come you don't have nothing to show? No assets, no home, no businesses. Not even businesses you failed at, which is an experience in life. It's not really a failure, it's a journey. It's your journey. We're talking about 5 ways to know if you have a person who's too prideful. 5 ways even if you want to understand if you're too prideful. When somebody's trying to teach you something, you know it all? Oh, I already know. Do you love to hit that line right there? You already heard that before. Okay. You ain't got to tell me. We're talking about 5 ways to know if you have too much pride and ego. When somebody tries to tell you about something, you already know. No matter if it's something you're good at. I trade stocks. I'm a commercial realtor. I learn a lot from other people. Sometimes I learn in life is simple. Shut up and listen. Let me listen to what they got to say. That's how simple. But for some of you, you ain't going to listen to nobody because you know it all. You've done it all. But at the end of the day, what do you have to show? Nothing. 40 years of living, you're still struggling. 40 years of living, you're still renting. 40 years of living, you still don't have good credit. 40 years of living, you still don't have a best friend. 40 years of living, you still having problems having friends. There's a problem with you because of your pride and ego. People, it's the truth. A lot of you don't like the truth. You want me to sugarcoat things. I've never been that person. You guys know that. Number one, how you can tell a person has a lot of pride and ego, they're not going to listen. They're not going to listen to anyone, not even including their parents. You can't talk to them. They always know it all. They always have done it all. And then they get to a position of life struggling with that know-it-all mentality. And the struggle sometimes is not always financial. It's mental. A lot of you need to understand the part of the battle that a lot of you are battling is the mental component of life of trying to be successful. You're around certain people. And certain types of people who are elevated are continuously telling you great things about yourself. Instead of you listening, you always have a rebuttal. No matter what they say, you always have a rebuttal. And instead of just saying, well, I appreciate the advice. Thank you. I'll take it into consideration. Simple. But your pride is not going to let you do that. Yeah, instead you're going to hit this. I was just about to, what you were just about to do. You haven't done it for 35 years. What you were just about to do. Now you're lying to yourself because the only person that believes you is yourself. Number two, you're not receptive to anything. Even in personal relationships, you're having problems. With men, with women, you're not receptive to anything a person tells you. Sometimes it's okay in life to just shut up and listen. Let me make it sound better because I know some of you are emotional. Be quiet and listen. But the truth is in life, listening is so important when somebody's trying to give you constructive criticism. Just listen and be quiet for a second. But a lot of you have such a problem doing that because of your pride and ego. You know how many millions of Americans right now are working check by check, struggling, no savings, bad credit, don't own shit? And then you ask them, when are you going to change your approach to life? Oh, I read this book, I read that book, okay. Have you applied anything in those books? Would you like to book a mentor? Would you like to learn what you're doing wrong? Now, I already know what I'm doing wrong and I'm working on it. Oh, okay. Okay, seems like you got it in control. Number one is you can't learn. Number two is you're not receptive. No matter what somebody tells you, you're not receptive. You're always defensive. Everything is a defensive mechanism. Once somebody tells you something about yourself that could better you, you go into defensive mode. Number three. This is how you can tell this is how you can tell people have ego and pride. Everything is always about them. They're always right. Everything is always about them. I know a lot of people like this. They are never wrong. They don't like to say, I'm sorry. They can't apologize. Everything is about them. Me, 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 me. And you wonder why people don't like working with you. You wonder why you're at a certain position of life. It's because of your ego and pride. The minute you can understand how to properly readjust your ego and pride, you'll be surprised how far you can get. Everybody in this world is not here to attack you. Everybody in this world is not here to go against you. Some people care about you enough to tell you their honest opinion so you can grow. All you have to do is one thing. Shut up and listen. That's it. That's it. But for some of you, you have such a problem when it comes to the shutting up part. Especially the grown men. They've been dictating relationships all their life. Then they meet another man giving them advice that's trying to better them. They know it all. I don't fight with men. I don't fight with no grown adults. I've learned. Just let them be who they are. And they'll learn the hard way. Women, I get it. Some of you have it in you too. When somebody's trying to give you advice. Some of you, here's the opposite about certain women. They'll listen, but they're just not going to apply it. A lot of women, they will listen, but they're just not going to apply nothing you said. Knowing it could better their life and make their life more efficiently and more effectively. In life, I want you guys to understand as grown adults, life is not just about you. And if you live a life always thinking about yourself and not being selfless, you will be struggling for a long time. Financial wealth is a mental aspect of life that a lot of us are not taught in schools. Our parents don't teach us the mindset of ego and pride, how it can hinder you for the rest of your life. How some of you have lost great marriages. How some of you have lost great partners, business partners, personal partners. How some of you have lost everything of life because of pride and ego. You refuse to listen to someone that can give you great advice so you can be better. You always know it all. You always know it all. But the real question is, I love life. It goes back to numbers. It goes back to reality. What do you have to show from you knowing it all? With all that pride and ego, what do you have to show? And that's what's going to boil down to. Number 4. One thing I've learned about people that's so egotistical and that have so much pride, they're prideful. They love to lie. They're one of the biggest liars in the world. Everything is a story. Everything that comes out their mouth is a lie. And they're usually one-uppers. You tell them you got a Mercedes, they'll tell you they've been had one, knowing they never drove a Mercedes. You tell them you invested into property, they'll tell you they invested into 5 of them. You tell them you know an athlete, they'll tell you they know 10 athletes. You tell them you got a 780 credit score, they'll tell you they got an 840, knowing their credit score is at the 550. One thing about people who have pride and ego, they're always lying. For what reason, I don't understand. But it's something, sorry about that. It's something about life and the people that live around our social environment, of our social atmosphere. For some reason, people that fail in life love to make up stories. I don't know why is that. Why is it that a lot of us, as we're growing in life, we can't learn to just listen? We can't learn to just grow. We're always in this position of life, not listening to people. We can't be receptive. You don't have nothing to prove to anybody in life as you're growing up in life. I've learned that. We have this mindset where we're looking for validation. Validation from who? Who are you trying to validate? What? I can't understand this sometimes, right? Grown adults are still trying to prove something to other people. Prove what? The only person you should be proving something to is yourself and your family. But why is it we're always fighting and being defensive and being competitive with each other when we should be working with each other? People, if you understood one of the biggest problems of life of why a lot of us can't grow, we don't work collectively. We don't work together. Other cultures, they work together because they want to win. They understand if 5 of them come together, it's better than one person trying to do it themselves. But us is so much pride and ego. If we really took time and put 3,000, 1,000, or 500 of us in a room and leverage each other's tools or each other's resources, you'll be surprised how far we could get collectively if we could just let our pride and ego go. But let me guess, you already know it all. You already done it all. You know, it's so funny. They say pride. They say pride is when it's a feeling. It's a feeling. It's a feeling that a person has when they have accomplished something in life. The reality is a lot of you haven't accomplished anything, but you're so prideful. How is that possible? How can you be prideful without any true accomplishments? What have you accomplished to be prideful? And that should really humble you. See, a lot of you, you're having a hard time trying to get to 100,000 a year, which is pretty embarrassing, okay? Especially if you're born in the United States of America and you speak the language. There's so many opportunities in this world. $100,000 a year is nothing anymore. It's nothing. It's nothing anymore because the cost of living is so high. You should be fighting for $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year. That's how you're going to live a real middle-class lifestyle. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not trying to judge anybody. But a lot of you need to understand how you need to shift your mindset to be able to grow in life and let the pride and ego go. Your pride is what will put you in a position to lose your best friend. Your pride is what will put you in a position to lose your marriage. Your pride is what will put you in a position to lose your business. Your pride is why nobody wants to be around you, hang around you, because of your pride and your ego. The moment you could be humble about life, you'll be surprised how far you can go. People love humble people. People embrace humble people. When you do a person wrong, because a lot of you also have that habit. Not only you only think about yourself. Everything is about you. You love to lie. You don't like to listen. You have so much pride and ego. You're going to realize something. At a certain point of your life, You're going to sit down and ask yourself this real question. Why am I still in the same position from 10 years ago? Why am I not growing? How come nobody want to hang around me? Why is it so many people have talked behind my back in the past 10, 12 years of my life? Maybe some of it is true. Maybe some of it is true. But you won't know until you humble yourself and really do a self-reflection of who you are and what do you need to do to be better and be greater. We all can learn from different people. But the problem with a lot of us is we know it all. We're so prideful. We have so much ego. We can't learn to listen for a second. Sometimes in life, it's okay to just shut up and listen instead of speaking. I've said this to numerous women. Listen more, talk less. Men, the problem with men is the ego. They feel another man can't teach them anything. They feel women can't teach them anything. You sure a woman can't? You know how many successful women there is in this world? Multi-millionaires, multi-billionaires. You know how many women know certain things that you don't know? All you have to do is just simply listen to them. The problem is your pride and your ego. Some men would be in better relationships right now if they would have just listened. But the pride and ego is what they're fighting. I already know it all. I don't want to listen to no woman. I don't want to listen to no friend. The friend cares about you enough to give you their constructive criticism, and you don't want to listen now. So if you won't listen to your friends, you won't listen to your parents, you won't listen to your loved ones, who will you listen to? So you're going to go through life believing that you could handle everything by yourself. Everything mental, financial, spiritual, by yourself. If life was that easy, everybody would do it. I thought I'd share this live because I think it's imperative for a lot of us to understand the importance of self-love, self-reflection. The importance of understanding pride and ego. Why it needs to be in a back burner of your life. Why you should learn how to be humble. Why you should be disciplined of enjoying who you are. You don't have to prove anything to anybody in this world. Stop trying to do that. I love when I hear a person on my phone being prideful. It's just funny to me. And once we get off the phone, that's usually the last time we talk. I don't really get into that. That's foolishness. I like people who are very straightforward. In life, you don't have nothing to prove to anybody. Sometimes in life, you're just not at the right time of your life. That's why you're not where you want to be. Don't let people make you feel any different. But if you have pride and ego and you can't learn to listen to people, you're never going to grow. Some of you right now are in the financial situations of your life because of you not listening to somebody. Because every time it's time for you to listen, you keep talking. Learn to shut up and listen for a chance. And if you would listen, you'll be surprised how far you can go in life. I talk about a lot of different things of life, teaching you guys financially how this world works. It's not just wealth, is a mindset also. It's a style of living, what lifestyle. It's social factors. It's learning how to leverage capital. It's learning about having good credit. It's learning how to invest. It's learning about taking risk. It's learning how to be a better you as a human being. You don't need to be rude to everybody. I get it. Sometimes you have those moments. As human beings, we're not perfect. Human flesh is not perfect. It's okay to say, I'm sorry. It's okay to apologize. It's okay to say, I made a mistake. It's okay to say, I don't know. I never heard that before. You don't have to put yourself in this mindset. I'm too man enough to admit that I don't understand. There's a lot of things people talk to me about I don't understand. I have people tell me vocabulary words. Sir, I'm not going to lie to you. What does that mean? Very comfortable. The word you just said, clarify, what does that word mean? Simple. But a lot of us, we won't do it. We'll rather lie to ourselves and lie to the person that's speaking to us and make it seem like we understand everything. In life, if you don't understand something, you don't understand something. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. Stop letting human flesh judge you. At the end of the day, we all have one thing in common. We're all not going to be here one day. That's the part I think people get confused about. Love yourself. Love thy neighbor, as they say. And understand in life, letting your pride and your ego go and staying humble is a very important feature that's not taught in schools. It's not taught in life. But today you've learned something very important, which is so essential as you're elevating and going in your journey, whatever your journey is, to grow and be the best you. Learn to take time to learn how to be a better you in life. Learn to apologize. Learn to listen to other individuals. Learn to say to yourself, it's okay, I was wrong. The mindset that we have in this world, we always want perfection. Perfection doesn't exist. It's okay to be wrong at times. It's okay to make a mistake. It's okay to make several mistakes. It's okay to not be like somebody else. It's okay to be you. You don't have to always have pride. Not everybody's attacking you. Some people love you enough. They want to see you do better. That's why they're giving you constructive criticism. All you got to do is shut up and listen. Mentourme.com. It's your boy Bob from Mentor Me. Love you all. Appreciate the love. Tomorrow night, as you guys know, every Tuesday night, I teach you guys something in the financial world. Appreciate the love, Candy. Appreciate the love. Tomorrow night, I will be teaching you guys something in the financial world. 10 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you guys are tuned in. I will be live on all 3 platforms, IG, Facebook, and YouTube. Come learn, come empower your mind, come learn what it is and how I created wealth so you could create wealth too. Tanky in the building. What's popping, baby? This is your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. You guys have a beautiful night. Make sure you still understand the importance of love, life, self-reflection, letting your pride go, and staying humble if you want to win while you're trying to go through this financial journey. Mentourme.com.